All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. How is it going? Hey, Deadly Pajamas. Thank you. Thank you for that subscription. Hey, Mr. CJ. Hey, guys, what's the name of this music, or at least the first track played? That first one that played, I believe, is... I'll have to look at the name of it. It's one of the soundtracks for, I think, Pyro 5, or the Moons of Pyro 5. Let me look real quick what it's called. At least the one that I found, it's just called The Worlds of Pyro 5, if you search for that up. The second one was the Cascom sort of song. Yeah, that one. I love that one. Hey, it's Fool 07, first time chat. Welcome in. Hey, Talos. And Borichowski. Sorry, I'm probably butchering that. Welcome in. So I've been kind of living off of my Idris for the last, I don't know, day and a half, 2 days. And I thought it'd be interesting to just see what with some of the updates that they've done that have come in recently, with like being able to repair and rearm on certain capitals or other large ships, some of the other stuff that's happened for that. Kind of just have been experimenting of like how far can you push having like a true mobile base right now. So that's kind of what we'll be doing today, just kind of hanging out, trying some stuff with that, and just chatting, answering questions on anything Star Citizen, I guess. So we'll just be hanging out for a little bit here. Hey, Snipey. Am I on a hotfix shard? I don't know. I know they put out a hotfix yesterday, I think that was, but usually when they put those out, getting hotfix shards, they usually only have like a couple at first, and they're pretty slow to deploy, so I'm gonna bet I'm probably not. I guess I'm not even on the hotfix for the client side right now. But I usually will just wait until sometimes if it's like a big fix, then I'll update. But probably just wait till it goes live in a day or two, I would guess. Hey, Zelix. "732" is the old one, I guess. Let's check real quick here. Let's see. That's on the shard 8? No, I forget which line that's on. I think it's the 732. I see a 732. So I'm guessing this is still an old shard, probably. I would like to get a new shard, though, and the hotfixes. I know one of the fixes was for in your inventory, like crafted stuff not showing its stats correctly. You have to like equip it first and then hover over it for it to show, and that was quite annoying. So I'm hoping they get that set to live pretty soon here. Yeah. Yep. Just an old one. I mean, I haven't had any like super big issues with 4.9 so far. Like there's been a few little things. I've actually had a few close calls with almost losing this Idris already. Mostly with Alt F4. Like if I've had like bad performance, it seems like, I don't know. Maybe it's just a issue on my end. But after like a couple of hours, sometimes the FPS just tanks to like 20 for no good reason. And then I've Alt F4'd a couple of times, and then it doesn't put me back on the same shard. Or I load in and then I'm at a station and not on the Idris where I just was. So that has given me a slight heart attack a few times, but I managed to find it again. So if I need to restart the game, I guess for now I just gotta log out on the ship and then restart it. Wow, the Polaris rework looks totally different. Looks like the Idris bridge. Well, that's probably because it is the Idris. I do like the Polaris too, though. The Polaris can work pretty well for, you know, living off of. You just get more space in the Idris, I guess. Although you can't fit 32. Well, I guess you can. Maybe in the upper cargo deck, you can technically fit them, but you can't. You have to like auto load the crates in there. Otherwise, you're limited to 16 SCU crates, which usually isn't that big of a deal. Like, so in here in the cargo room, I have. Let's see. There's what do we got? I think this is ammo and probably some hydrogen and quantum fuel up here that I auto-loaded. There's been a weird bug since, might have been 4.7, maybe 4.8. No, I think it was 4.8 because it was when they brought in the repair and stuff ability. Is that like if you buy one commodity from a terminal to the location you're at, it then just blocks you from like buying anything else to that location for some reason. You just can't do it. Makes no sense. So you're kind of left with just slowly auto-loading stuff onto the ship, and it takes a little bit. So I think that's what I did here, and then it just put them up on the upper deck. Linux clients are bugged with sound problems when CPU has high utilization. I heard Windows has sometimes similar problem. I think he's the anti-cheat. Sound problems. I don't know that I mean, I'm on Windows. I don't know that I've had any sound bugs. Not like the sound bugs we had a few months ago that was causing crashing quite a bit. Hey, Mike. Thank you. Glad you find my videos tolerable and slightly useful. Sad though, because it's been kind of quiet news-wise the last little bit, so I'm trying to, you know, think of some other types of videos I can do. There's some other ones that I'd like to do, like ship breakdowns or like reviewing concept ships. Like I might do one soon for like the Liberator, maybe the Kraken, kind of talking about those, what changes we already know about, what else could change on them. Because I'm very excited for both of those ships, the Liberator and the Kraken. Any shipping ship is right up my alley. I love that sort of stuff. So the Idris kind of fills that role right now, but man, I'm really hoping that I can get a Kraken at IAE, because I think that'll be even better. One for the Odyssey. Yeah, that's true too. I could do one for the Odyssey. That's an interesting ship as well. Is that Is the Odyssey considered a capital ship? I mean, it's like, I don't remember if it's about the same size as the Polaris, or maybe a little smaller than the Polaris. The hangar's about the same size, it seems, as the one the Polaris has. And I mean, it's a couple years old of a concept as well, so that could, whenever they put that in production, that could see some upgrades as well. The subcap large ship, but yeah, same size. Okay. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Honestly, I could have seen them going to do that after they did the Starlancer, you know, from having that asset library built up, doing that. But I guess they'll still have that whenever they go to do it. So that should help speed it up a bit. Down here in the main hangar, I think I have some more ammo and fuel storage, but a lot of what I have right now is RMC that I've just been slowly collecting with the Salvation. I've done some salvage contracts, but also like a couple of times with some of my buddies. We've been like doing some PvP, blow some ships up, and then go scrape them for some RMC. Salvation is really nice and convenient to have in here. Like, you could put a Vulture, you know, I guess it would hold more, you wouldn't have to come back as often, but it takes up so much more space inside the Idris, and it's so tall. So, the Salvation, I actually really like the Salvation, now that I've had some more time with it. I put some, I made some moderately improved Abrade scraper heads, and it does quite well for scraping up RMC. The Odyssey has a higher hangar from the pictures. It might fit more than the Polaris. That's true. I do remember seeing that. It might not be... I think it's close to the same length. Maybe not quite as wide, but yeah, the height might help. Maybe you could fit like a Clipper there. Clipper or something in there. If it's tall enough. Or what else? Like a Herald. The Herald might fit in the Polaris already. I don't remember. There's probably a few other options that would open up, though. Class is a large ship, but it had a cap shield. Okay, so that would kind of make it maybe in the same boat as the Reclaimer, which is kind of a capital, kind of not. Maybe, I don't know. I think maybe they technically say it's a capital now. So they could maybe upsize it just slightly and push it into that capital category. Hey Musa, welcome in. Is base building out or coming next patch? Base building is not out. I don't think it's coming next patch. The most recent news that I heard was, I think, from a bar citizen of maybe a month or two ago, that there was someone that apparently from CIG that said that they're planning to get some version of it out next year, I think. So I'm really excited for base building. Yeah, that is also one of my most anticipated big gameplay systems and features. So you never know. Maybe they pull a fast one and give us some initial version of it at the end of the year. It might break the game, but at least it would be in, I guess. I'm just eagerly awaiting the Galaxy to be my mini base. Yeah, the Galaxy will probably be a good option as well. I might pick that up. I got it was like a $5 CCU from I think it was the Starlancer TAC to the Galaxy. And then there has been a couple of good war bonds for the TAC and then some other stuff, so I might be able to upgrade, I think maybe my M80 to the Galaxy for like $10 or something. So we'll see how it turns out first. And the biggest thing I'm waiting on to make a decision for that is, one, what changes have they made to it? Have they made it have a bigger base cargo capacity? Have they changed the interior at all, the layout? And two, does it come with all 3 modules that they've sold so far when it comes out? That would be the cargo, medical, and refining. The refining is the biggest question because that gameplay obviously is not in the game currently. So let's wait and see for that. Hey, thank you, Musa. I try to keep it succinct, you know, in like the news videos and stuff. Not inject too much of, you know, too much of my personal opinion or whatever. Like if there's something I don't like, I'll call it out, but I think most of the time I try to stay pretty neutral or just kind of positive, just cruising along, just chilling. Like a Terrapin for some good exploration. Yeah, I mean, I think you can fit. I mean, I think the Terrapin fits in the Polaris. So height-wise, there shouldn't be a problem on the Odyssey. Honestly, the width could potentially be a problem. Maybe not from the ship itself, but because the ramp opens up so far out, and that kind of makes the ship, or like the needed footprint, a little bit wider. You got it for large base building, as long as they keep that with the plan. I'm pretty sure they are. I know there was, I think it was John Crew on Spectrum, when was that, a year or something ago, that suddenly was like, oh, we never said we were going to do that, and then people jumped on him to point out that they had shown and said the Galaxy would do it at CitizenCon, so yeah, that could be interesting too when we get around to that. I'm guessing they'll, I mean, we'll probably, if we get base building next year, they'll probably give us, I don't think the Pioneer will be done, so they'll probably give us the grav cart for the small structures, the CSV fabrication version for the medium stuff, and then they probably already have the Starlancer build pretty much done. So then they can just put that out for large, if that's the extent that they let us play with, if they put it out next year. Your thoughts on hydrogen changes coming in the next patch? I hope they make a little more sense, because when they had it initially in the 4.9 PTU, it made no sense. Like, I think because I think that was when they were just changing quantum numbers, but they also changed like the consumption, and it was just weird. Like, I think an F8 had more range than an Idris by like a lot, and it made no sense. So hopefully pulling it to 410, they've had a little bit of extra time to figure that out. It is understandable that, like, well, I don't even think it was like the quantum fuel, like the values that were necessarily a problem. It seemed like it was, if you're in terms of like doing refueling missions and just it making sense, the hydrogen fuel usually was more of a problem, because you have like a Pisces that says it has like 35 SCU of hydrogen fuel, and it's like, I don't know where all that's going. So I hope if they can bring it, the number values to more logical numbers, but also keep the fuel consumption either the same or maybe adjust that slightly, probably be good. And then they might adjust like the refueling pod capacities as well at the same time. you think the ship's suit locker will be in 410? I haven't, from playing in the tech previews for Evocati, I mean, technically that doesn't have everything for 410 in it. It was mostly just to test siege and instancing. I don't think, I don't know, like they could try and push them for 410. It's probably more likely they push them for 411 in September, because that's when we're supposed to be getting Starware. And I think like they really need to have suit lockers working for when we have that. And to go along with that, they need being able to ensure the items in suit lockers and on weapon racks inside ships. Otherwise, no one will use them. Because I don't want to put my crafted armor in a suit locker to then just get blown up in 3 seconds and then, you know, it's gone. There's a lot of stuff, like, if they want to, if they, with Starware coming in, if they want all of the different specializations to work, there's a lot of other little, or some big features that need to come in at the same time. Like a lot of the perks for some of the armor types is supposed to be related to FPS scanning, and we don't have that. So are they going to put that in at the same time? So that's another, if they do, you know, that's another pretty big feature. And then it's also been rumored that that's the patch we're getting all of the Nyx planets, and that's going to be new planet tech, the Starkitect locations, all sorts of new stuff. So get ready for potentially another slightly broken patch if all of that is in. We don't know all of that yet, but that's just, you know, kind of the way that I think about it. Of if they're going to have suit lockers, they need to have this, they need to have this. Otherwise, it doesn't make a lot of sense to bring it in. Okay, I'm going to go... Where am I? I'm right by checkmate. Something else I wanted to do is go get a fabricator. Because if I go and, say, loot some guns or some other stuff, you could recycle those guns into other materials that then I could use to make ammo or other guns on board the ship. Is it the most efficient way to do things? No. But it's something else you could do, or we should be able to do, that you could be a little more, I guess, quote-unquote self-sufficient in making guns and ammo and stuff. But if you have other questions, feel free to keep asking them. We're just chatting. Anything Star Citizen. And thank you again, Musa. Welcome to the stream. Still can't get over that they haven't introduced community chat channels in-game, and a trade market system really would be a game changer. Yeah, having even if you have to go to like the TDD or whatever at some of the Stanton planets to access it, or maybe they can add some other terminal in Pyro and Nyx to do it as well. It would, yeah, that would be a big improvement. And I think in the monthly report, I read something about they have been, social tools wise, they've been making like local, like location channels, like for specific planets that it'll like switch you to when you get to a new planet or something like that. So there's a little something, I guess, but there's still quite a bit that we need for better social experience. First thing they have to balance is engineering and soft death. Right now it's still TTK and not time to disable. I miss fires, malfunction, and smoke. Yeah, I haven't seen a fire on a ship in quite a while. I think they may have changed something. It might be because everyone has been using ballistics for the most part, at least in PvP, because those have been better the last couple of patches. And I think the ballistics don't have as good of a chance to cause fires, but I think the laser weapons have a much higher chance of causing fires. So that may be partially why you don't see that a ton right now. They may have also played with just the chance of a fire starting in the first place. But yeah, I haven't seen one for a little while. There definitely are still problems with time to disable. Like, it's, I don't know. Like, for fighters, it's a little bit annoying having to, like, disable them and then just pump, like, 10 times their whole HP into them to actually fully kill them, because there's, like, the invisible health bar after you have disabled them for when they actually blow up. So, I don't know. Like, for fighters, it's a little more understandable that you would have it explode quite a bit faster, because they're just more fragile. And I think for the Idris, at least, and kind of the Polaris, good luck putting enough damage into it to kill it just by shooting it over and over. Like, that's going to take you a long time. Which is kind of nice, though, because it incentivizes boarding instead, which I prefer. I love boarding ships. It's very, very fun. But there's definitely still a lot of balance things to work out for the overall system and different classes of ships. Question, is the docking port working for your Idris? When I try, it docks, but when walking out the airlock, I fall through it. I actually have not had to dock anywhere yet this patch, because everywhere I've been careful, because I know there's been docking issues. So anywhere I go, I make sure it has an XL hangar, because they seem to have finally got it working consistently where it'll now default, if the location has the right size hangars, to putting you in a hangar instead of the docking port. So I have not had to try it. I know I have had before where I've docked and then, I guess, are you falling through it and you can't get back into the airlock, or is it just like when you go into the hallway, then it's EVA and you can EVA across it into the station? Because I've had that before, where you just have to EVA through. But I haven't had, like, falling through it and then I can't get back in or anything. Attack caught up pretty well when I got hit by size Ace from the Perseus. I wouldn't. Having taken out many Starlancer attacks from the Perseus turret, I would not stick around in that against Perseus, because you will probably lose. It can definitely take a few hits. Yeah, that the Starlancer is the exact type of thing the Perseus is designed to get. And it does a really good job of it. You're living on an Idris for some time. Did you notice components losing health or durability? I haven't been in a ton of direct combat with the Idris. I've avoided doing, like, NPC missions with the Idris for the most part, because sometimes they'll, like, crash into you and then their body gets stuck inside the ship somewhere, and then I can't log out on the ship anymore. So I haven't done a ton of combat with it necessarily. If you're talking like wear and tear on the components, I think they have that turned off right now. It doesn't technically apply to any of the components at the moment. because there wasn't a way. I think they had that in initially with engineering, and then they turned it off because it was they weren't giving a way to fix it, basically. And so no matter what, like every ship had like a certain finite amount of time before those different pieces got to 0% wear and tear, and then I would guess the ship would just be broken, basically. So when I go to Orison and dock in my Idris, I go to the docking port and start walking. I fall when I step on the docking collar. I have not tried... I haven't been to Orison this patch, so... Yeah, I'm not sure on that. That's weird, though, because, I mean, Orison does have extra-large hangars, so... If that's working how it should, I mean, in theory, it should give you a extra-large hangar. But maybe Orison has a particular issue with that that's not working quite right. Assuming this will be able to fit in one of these bays. Let's go down here. Was it a little too wide? Can I fit it this way? I guess I could just plop it down. Unless I can get it up to the second deck somehow. I'll probably have to move some other crates down. Let's go see. Okay, let's see if we can move one of these containers down. I have to use the small tractor beam. Okay, let's go throw this over here. Ah. That's one of the other small issues I've had on occasion. Sometimes, I don't know if it's like after logging or whatever, like the cargo grid gets a little borked and you have to take the thing off and then put it back, or else it tries to put another container inside that container. So there's a few little issues that have cropped up here and there, but otherwise, so far at least, it's worked pretty well. Now we gotta see if we can get this up. That's kind of that's part of the problem, is I can't see it when it goes up there. Let's see. We put it like so. If it'll stay. Let's go up the other side. See if we can get it up over there. And now can it... Oh my... Okay. Guess we'll just have to guess down in the hangar. Now it lets me see it like this. That doesn't make any sense. Well, we gotta get it. So we can get it to stay there enough. Or, hold on. Let's re-look. Bring up the elevator. Hopefully I don't squish myself. Okay, maybe this will work. It might be upside down. Okay. Move another container, maybe? Just want to get it to snap, if I can. I need to flip it. Oh, there we go. Now, hold on. Bring this over here. Can we bring this far enough forward that we can slide that container behind it? Maybe not. This fabricator is ever so slightly too long, I think. It just makes just long enough, it makes fitting it places a little weird. Put that there. Now it won't let me snap it. Great. Wait. There we go. No. Come on. There. Okay, we're gonna leave that there. And we'll throw this container down. Let that go. So then we could try. I think I'm going to go, after we get that all situated, might go over to Nick's and go loot a couple of places and then get some NPC guns. Then we'll see if we can disassemble some of them into some other materials that then we can use to make ammo or, you know, other things. Just to kind of see what we can do for that sort of thing. You can make some ammo on the fly. That'd be kind of cool also if you could get materials in that way and be able to fabricate like small 1 or 2 SCU boxes of like the ship ammo. That'd be kind of nice. So I think that's everything situated. That should be good for now. Hey, no worries. Thanks for stopping by. Crizzy, maybe I'll just say Curzy. I don't know. Thanks for stopping by. Now, for those of you on YouTube, I am planning on being live as much as I can for the Twitch drops when those start next week. So, if you're interested in that and you're going to be looking to get those Twitch drops, you can follow the Twitch if you haven't already. And should be. We'll see what we can do during that. Maybe some fun stuff. We'll try and figure out, but it'll be fun. The little Atlas skin. And then I think there's like a, what is it, like a Banu cube thing as well. Yeah, drop site, yeah. It'll be my first time participating in that, so we'll see what we can do, what fun we can have. Their Twitch drops? Not today. They start, I think it's the 29th. They go to the 29th till, I don't remember, a couple of days into August, I think. But there's a, it's for the Foundation Festival. And I think there's a Atlas skin you can get from watching a creator for 4 hours. And then I think they're also starting the subscription drops as well. So like if you sub to a creator, there's another, it's like this little Banu cube thing you can get for subbing to someone if you have your accounts linked properly with Star Citizen. So I'm sure there'll be lots of people on for when that happens, but it'll be fun. Probably try it out, see how it goes. As a merchantman owner, I need the cube. Apparently it's like, it's something that they gave out as a bar citizen reward a couple of years ago, I guess. But now they're bringing back another way that you can get it. Hey, Jay Beecham. Welcome in. We're just seeing what we can do in terms of living out of an Idris. How much can we be self-sufficient? What cool stuff can we try and set up? And at the same time trying to avoid getting Chris Roberts. Almost lost the ship a couple of times, but been able to find it again. So, just gotta be careful. You stay out of Nyx then? I don't know. I think Stanton has been the system with the most problems recently. Probably because I think most of a server population is usually in Stanton. Comparatively, I mean, Pyro is probably the most stable right now. Maybe, well, there might be a few more people in Pyro right now because of the commodity thing going on at Kala's Beach and, what is it, Ashland? There's been some good PvP there. But Nyx is usually pretty chill. Levski can get a little bit hectic. Hey, PBG. Welcome in. The Idris is also even more cumbersome to fly around now. They lowered I think all of its directional, like pitch, yaw, and roll, I think by 1 again. So it's it was already very slow. But and one like it was like I think it was 7.7.12 and now it's 6.6.11, so that's a decent difference. So probably for the best. So an Idris can't keep nose on a fighter at, I don't know, 10k. I guess can't even probably hit from that far at the moment. But probably better for it to be a little slower. I will say, though, nothing annoys me more at the moment in PvP than solo Idrises. And yes, I'm flying my Idris solo right now, but I have made a promise to myself, basically, to pretty much not do any PvP solo at my Idris. Hey, Harabek. I like the Idris too. I'm excited for the new Idris. The updated Squadron one. Hopefully we get that pretty soon after Squadron comes out. Your Idris solo as a mobile base, never take it into PvP solo. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we're trying now. Seeing how much of a mobile base, a mobile space station we can kind of make the Idris. Hey, Manic Mall. By the Perseus solo as my home away from stations. Yeah, I mean, the Perseus can still work decently solo. If you're doing, like, some PvE stuff, like, it's plenty tanky. And like, if you, there's, what I've done before is in Nyx, there's, like, some of the, like, go kill Vanduul ship missions that they pay, like, 250 or 300k, so they pay a pretty good amount, but it's just like glaives and stingers maybe that you fight, so it has a lot of shield. The Perseus has a lot of shields, so usually you don't have to worry about taking damage from them. You can just kind of sit there, go get in one of the turrets and blink away at them. Throw a Ursa in the cargo bay for respawns. I still wish the Perseus had like a single tier 3 medbed, like a little medical room stuck in there somewhere. I don't know, I just think it's, you give it to the Star Lancer, but not, I don't know. I mean, because the Star Lancer, yes, it's a drop ship, so I don't know. I still would have liked to see something like that. Let's go to one of the Moraine stations, and that one's unavailable. Another one, unavailable. I want to say this is like, just everyone's trying to do these. That's why they're always going. We'll say from what we've seen of the Kraken, it's quite impressive turrets. I think CAG may need to upgrade the Idris' turrets to keep it from being left behind. Yeah. And then considering the Kraken got upgraded to size 9 main guns and size 7 man secondaries, they're all quads like the Perseus. Yeah, I loved that update a couple of months ago on the Kraken with the updated concept stuff. It looks so good. I love it so much. Like I've just like the last couple of weeks I'm like I am gonna get my hands on a Kraken one way or another. I'm gonna find a way to get one at IAE. I tried to get one during DefenseCon. Like I melted my Idris temporarily to try and get a credit one, and I think I got it in my cart, but I don't think I ever had a chance to get it. Like the credit one goes so fast. The Warbond one I think maybe stuck around for a couple of seconds, so might have to go that route, but we'll see. But I think looking at, when I've looked pretty closely at the updated Idris Squadron, the whole outside of the ship is different, but the turrets also have been redesigned. At least in Squadron, they looked like they were shooting ballistics, so maybe the stock weapons are just different, or maybe they even, you never know, maybe they gave them bespoke turret weapons. And they did look bigger as well. Like the side turrets here, these ones, they looked to have the same size guns as the main turret up at the front there, which typically has the bigger guns. So I think they've definitely made some changes to the turrets, and I think they need to, because 2 size 5s is just not enough. Like right now they could honestly probably increase all of them to dual 6s, and that would probably be quite a bit better, and then actually give a use for the size 6 weapons. So hopefully there's some other good changes they've made with the Idris. The Javelin turrets are really nice though as well. There was a lot of subtle changes that they made to the Javelin that I noticed from those concept images. You snagged a credit one on Wave 5? Ah, lucky. That was probably when I was trying, so you stole it from me. No, I'm just kidding. I think they probably also make less credit ones available in the first place to incentivize people to buy Warbond. Hey, Dirtizen, thank you for the follow. Excited to get the Galaxy this IAE. I have the Perseus, but really struggling on deciding if I'm going to keep it or switch to the Liberator once it's released. Well, I mean, yes, the Galaxy does have a little bit of carrier capability. I guess the Liberator has more of that, so I guess you'd have to decide, are you wanting to be mostly carrier and a little bit of cargo, I guess. It does have a decent bit of cargo space. Or a little bit of carrier and other industrial utility, like more cargo or medical or refining. So yeah, it'll be interesting though. I'm excited to check it out. We haven't heard a whole lot on it so far. I think we'll probably see some more images and teases of it in the monthly reports in probably the next couple of months here, I would guess. You'd never tried to get a Kraken before? Now, see, so that's kind of what happened for me when I got my Idris. Now I did get mine Warbond when it went flight ready at last year's Invictus, but I think I got it Wave 1. Like, I was like, wow, this is a lot easier than I've heard of getting a limited stock ship. But then I tried with the Kraken, and I was like, okay, this is a little more difficult. Hey, I think for the first time chat, Dirtizen07, thanks for all the great SC update vids. You are welcome. Glad you enjoy them, and hopefully they're at least a little bit helpful. Confused why we don't have AI flight blades for remote turrets yet. That's basically what a PDC is programming-wise. I would say if it was, if a blade to control a remote turret was like a PDC, they might have already done it. But because they have, I mean, it could just be, it's, you know, it's not, I guess they probably have other priorities, or it could be more complicated than that. I know when they've mentioned or talked about PDCs a little bit, it sounds like to get them to work that it is kind of tricky and not, like, they've had to do some weird things to get them to work as they do currently. The Odin? You have an Odin? Can't wait to spawn it in 2036. Yeah. Yeah, it'll probably be, like, at an I'd say at an absolute minimum, 3 years. But probably more than that, I think. Like, that, I don't know. I could see the Odin being put out before 1.0, but I could also see it being a post 1.0 ship as well. Like, they gotta have, when they bring it out, they gotta have, you know, content that you actually would want to use it for. Like, TSG, you wouldn't really need an Odin. We would need probably bigger and more enemy capitals or, like, Vanduul capital ships to be able to fight, to have it be worth having, I guess. And I have a couple of friends that have one, and I'm very excited to get to walk around that one day. Yeah, remember when the Polaris first came out, and if you stepped wrong on it, it started shooting your friends? Yes, that was... I remember that being a super big problem with, like, Hathor. Like, Hathor was the first big, like, kind of fleet PvP combat I got into, and it was such a problem. So, I haven't had it ever since they... I think they... I don't know when that was. 6 months ago, maybe? That they fixed that? It's been pretty good. And then they kind of just nerfed PDCs, so they they don't do a whole lot anyways now, but... I'm gonna take... Let's see if we can take a few of these guys' guns. And we should be able to break those down. The ship... Oh, you got yours in the Ship Showdown sale? Yeah, I remember... that was... I remember just laughing at that, because I think they had, like, what, 24 waves or something? Like, I don't know. And they were not shy about selling the Idris at, like, any opportunity they could last year. I think the game will have to be a well-oiled machine when the Odin comes out, or it'll just... the Odin will just nuke everything. Only issue you had with this patch is you lost everything coming out of Klesher. Lost everything you were wearing was so bad. Yeah, I've heard that. That's another reason I have stayed away from Stanton so far this patch. 'Cause I do not want to lose my crafted armor. I even had one friend like died in the ruin CZ and just spawned without anything, and then someone else like used a terminal in Levski, and when they got off the terminal their stuff had just evaporated. They had a full set of the Necropolis Palatino, and I was like, oh man, because that's rough. So there's been a few things like that, a few issues. They could fix some of that with the hotfix, though, I guess. Maybe. Maybe some of it requires downtime. Gotta go drop this off and come back and get more guns. UT jumps across Stanton, lands a new server, loses 20 FPS. Ah, it must be an Odin. Guess we're not staying. Yep. That'll probably be how it goes. I mean, in theory, by that point, we might have... Maybe we'll have dynamic server meshing, and then your Odin will just be your own server, probably. Someone speculated how many were sold, and it was around 2,500. Not sure if that was right. Even so, I can't imagine an area with 10. Yeah, I don't know how many were sold. You could, I mean, you could probably roughly figure it out, at least on at least what I know. Because I did like kind of keep an eye on the funding thing when that happened. They sold way more in the first wave than they sold in any of the others. Like the first wave, they had a whole bunch. Like that was, they made like 6.5 million in an hour or something during that first wave. And then, and I think that first wave was also what pushed them over the 1 billion mark. So it was a big moment. But then all the other waves, when I looked, it was a much smaller bump on the funding graph. So I think they had a lot less that they sold then. But yeah, I don't know exactly how many that divvies out to of how many that they put out, but quite a few. And they're gonna, I think they've said they're gonna sell it. It's gonna basically just be sold like a normal limited quantity ship at other sales upcoming. It's not gonna be like just if you're in the Founders Club or whatever. So who knows? They might not sell as many when they're doing that either. But we'll have to see. I would F4 and go watch TV. Yeah, yeah. I don't think I've ever even seen, like, I've gone looting for the Palatino stuff a few times, but I've never even seen the Necropolis set. It'd be really nice if they just would let us get the blueprint for it. They let you get the blueprint for most of the Palatino sets, like the orange and the red and the white and black one and the standard one and so on, but not the Necropolis one for some reason. There's a few armor sets that are like that. They're just missing blueprints for, or for like guns, like with the CQ7. There's like a green one and a black one, and a couple of others, like a white one. But you can only get the blueprint for the base, like, silver one. So, I don't know why they wouldn't just... I think they're on one of these reco missions when you get to a certain rep level, just... I don't know, just let you get all of them so you can, you know, make the cool skins. The New Babbage Odin meetup will be something to see. Well, yeah, it'll be something to see when the Odins can't get off the ground and they're stuck there. I don't think that thing's gonna be able to land. They just need the skins to be a separate thing you apply to the item. Yeah, I want to say that's what they plan to do eventually, but I think they have to. There's a lot of stuff they have to change to get that to work, because I don't think with how the weapons are right now, it is like possible for it to function like that. So that might be a bit of a longer term rework for all of that. Specifically said that Odin has no VTOL. I want to say during the SCL that they talked about it, I remember them saying it doesn't have landing gear, like, at all. I think. So I don't think the Javelin does either. So we're probably still at about the max size that could technically land would be the Idris and the Kraken. And those are already very, very big. Sometimes you can get some nice, high-quality ores in here. I think I found Janelite in here a couple of times. Okay, I think we're probably full. I don't think I'm going to bother actually doing this mission. Then I got to go to Levski and deal with 20 FPS. But you spent most of 4.6 trying to farm it, and you only found one piece of Necropolis. My goodness. It's got to have like a 0.05% spawn chance or something. If the Odin has landing gear, they would be Idris has the feet or something similar in size. Yeah, they would... Because of how tall it is, like how deep the main body extends, like, down, kind of below, like, I guess what you'd call the center line, maybe. Because if you equate it to kind of a, you know, a ship that would be in the ocean, like, they would have to be so long, it'd be the weirdest looking chicken leg landing gear ever. So yeah, I would be very surprised if it had landing gear. Okay, so let's move off from here. And then we'll see if we can disassemble some of that stuff and see if that works. Then make some other items. One of the devs pointed out there was no images of the Odin in Atmo, and Mark Gibson said that it has no VTOL at all. Okay. I mean, there's still, like, entire other rooms that for the Odin that weren't even fully like, they didn't have the concept art ready for the initial sale. Interestingly, though, I remember I did read somewhere that the hospital wing that it's going to have, that they're calling a hospital, not a med bay, isn't going to have a tier 1 bed, apparently. Which is just, I don't know, for a ship that big, you gotta have at least one tier 1 bed. Like, I don't know, it seems really weird not to. Hey, thanks, Fenny. So living out of the Idris, how are you getting fuel? Well, I'm not, like, holding myself to, like, strictly, like, I can't go to space stations or anything. So if I need to go fuel the Idris, I can. I mean, maybe technically you could call a Starfarer. I haven't tried that. I probably, well, the Idris takes so much hydrogen fuel, I probably wouldn't bother. So if I do need to refuel the Idris, I'll just go to a station. But I'm kind of just trying to see, for, like, having other ships to be able to, like, repair and other that sort of stuff, being as, like, self-sufficient as you can right now. So trying to get, like, RMC from things. We're going to test here if I can maybe dismantle some guns and then take those materials and make them into maybe other guns I want, or make it into, like, ammo for those guns. So just kind of, you know, with some of the updates that they've done in the last couple of patches for stuff, just seeing how far we can push living out on a ship. So, actually, let me open that up. Let's see, what do we got? Does the dead rig have a blueprint? I think it has to have a blueprint in order to be able to melt it. There's a dead rig shotgun magazine. Dead rig. Okay, so there is a blueprint for it. I don't have the blueprint though. I think you can still dismantle it if you don't have the blueprint. Had a couple of those. 2 of them. Starfarer doesn't work. It can't dock to the Idris. Oh, okay. They said they're going to exclude squadron exclusive rooms from the PU update. Yeah, I do wonder, like, what squadron exclusive stuff would there be? Like, I mean, because I mean, if they mean, like, new rooms for the Idris, there's not a lot of room anywhere in the ship to put new rooms. Like, probably the only thing I could really see getting rid of is maybe the gym and the sim pod area. I mean, they could even, I don't know, maybe they keep the gym. Like, the one area I could definitely see them getting rid of is this right here with the sim pods, because I don't think any other ships have this, and I don't think this is going to be functional in the PU anytime soon. So I could see them changing this, and then maybe the gym down here. Because I don't know if we'll really be able to make use of this in the PU at any point. So what they replace it with, I don't know. Otherwise, most areas on the Idris are probably fine to keep. If there's one blueprint I wish we could get, it's the size 1 grade D quantum drives, because with the current balancing, you'd be able to get 200 gigameters from them. Really? You can't get the grade D ones? Okay. I guess I haven't gone out of my way to try and get those, so I'm not, don't know entirely on that. Okay, and then, let's see, dismantling. Do that. That'll give us hephaestonite and iron. Is that all they use? Let me look at SC Crafter real quick. Oh yeah, okay, that's the only stuff they use. Because I know there's a few materials that are like excluded from it giving them back to you. I think it's like some of the high value stuff like Ceruleum and Orotite and a few things, but I don't think really any. There's a couple of guns that use Ceruleum, but a lot of them it's aluminum, hephaestonite, and iron, and maybe a couple of other things. So we'll just let that go for a second here. Let me get rid of this mission.
What the hell? If you say you can do a job, I damn well expect you to do it.
I spent basically every patch since I got the Idris living out of it every patch, so basically a full year living aboard it. So you must be very, very familiar with everything. All the little problems that the Idris has. Squadron Idris does have extra internal space compared to the PU one. They've bulked up the turret access sun deck, leading to the bridge as well as the front of the wings in those same sections. The front of the wings. Oh, like where the shooting range and the brig are? Like those extend further forward now? For a little extra space or something? Something I had happen to me was doing bounty hunting missions with the Idris. Eventually a fire broke out in the firing range. Sadly, you can't get in there to put it out. Had to go to a station. Okay. So then I think... Does it just give me the materials here? Or where did it put the materials? Are they just on here? No. Did it put them somewhere on the Idris grid? Because they come out in like little 1/8 SU boxes, usually, when you dismantle stuff. But I'm not sure if it did that. Or I have to select to have it output on the grid. Let's go look around, though. It'd be kind of nice, though, if it just puts them on the ship grid for you. Or it could be mega borked and it put those materials in Checkmate, where I bought the fabricator. We'll just take a quick look around, though. Oh, there's a piece of a ship lying there. Don't see them anywhere here. Unless they're in the little next to useless cargo bay up at the front of the ship. Guess we can go check there quick. Not seeing anything. Okay, well, maybe it evaporated them. Hey, thanks for coming by. It's Fool. Have a good evening. That's just somewhere here that I need to do something with, right? Oh. Need to select a location. That would do it. There they are. Then put these back here. I could put them even back here. There's a whole bunch of space I could put these little boxes. Thank you, SearchNet. Yeah, I think I just, it's been a while since I dismantled anything, so I just forgot where you have to select the thing in the UI. Okay. Now, though, I'm starting to get the... If you see the frame graph down here, I'm starting to get... Been a couple of hours, and I don't know what it is, but the FPS... I'm in the middle of nowhere in space. Like, when I first got on, it was like 100 FPS, and now it's like 40. So I don't know if it's like a memory leak or what it is, but it seems like after an hour or two, the performance just goes down the drain, and then you have to restart the game. So we might have to do a quick restart in a minute here. It's not like terrible FPS, but it's not great. Let's do these SMGs. I want to say the C-54 has aluminum in it. Let me take the side off. Nope, wrong button. Aluminum, aluminum. Okay. That'll get us some other decent base materials, and we'll switch that to machine grid this time. And that'll do its thing. Now we got a bunch more materials. Stack these 5i, yeah. About 6? Nope, looks like 5 is the limit for stacking those. Then I guess we can see, can we use these materials that are now, they should be, I guess, on the same grid as the fabricator. Can it use those materials directly? Or do I then need to put them back in if I want to make anything? We'll have to check that. Have you tried any components to disassemble yet? Not here. That would be another potential thing to try, though. Get some... I know at least size 1 components should fit here, and probably some of the size 2s. Like, yeah, probably most of the size 2 components could fit here. So yeah, we could maybe try that. Maybe go do, like a salvage mission and go get some components from something. That'd be interesting to see, actually. But now that my performance is going all wonky, I'm gonna, let's see, we're gonna log out, because again, I tried Alt F4ing before and it did not like that at all. So I'm gonna log and take a couple of minutes to restart the game. So yeah, I'm gonna just put it on the, I'm gonna put it on the be back in a minute screen for, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes, let this restart. And then we'll be back to it, and we'll try some more stuff out. So, see y'all in a couple minutes. Okay, we're back. Now it feels much, much nicer. If we turn on frame graph again, see, now we're up to like 80, 90, 100 FPS. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what causes that performance to just tank after a little while, but hopefully it'll stay better. So, let me go check here on the fabricator. Anything say affordable? No. So maybe we do have to put materials in. Hey, has anyone had success earning the blueprints for the collection missions? I tried sending the mission-specific items down the elevators to drop-off locations without success. Are you talking about, like, the Valakar Pearl or the Yormandi I turn-ins? I think with those missions, they are not guaranteed to give you a blueprint. I think they have like a 25 or a 50% chance or something to give you a blueprint. So it definitely, which is kind of lame. But I think that's how those ones are set up. Let's see, what could we make? Can't make any snipers. I don't have any Hadanite. Hey, ex-host, welcome in. I can't do the BR2. Wonder if you get lindinium back from melting down the pulverizer. Pick out one of those. Yeah. Let's try melting that. See if that gives us the lindinium, because that's one of the kind of the rarer materials. Be kind of shame if it didn't give it to us, but we'll see. It's the sunset berries. The cargo elevator doesn't trigger the turn-in when you go to lower them. Oh, yeah, I have had that happen before. I think that is more... I think I had that happen when I was doing a bit of rep grinding for the ship mining missions to get Rockcracker unlocked. And I think I just had to go... I think I tried it at, like, Hurston, and it just didn't work anywhere. It just wasn't registering them. I think I went to, like, ArcCorp, and it seemed to work. So maybe if you try going to another planetary system, you could try there, maybe. That might be a potential fix for it. Ah, see, this won't give me back the lindinium. This will only give the Hephaestonite and the iron. Okay. So, you are a little more... You're a little limited, but there's still quite a few guns that you can make with just, like, aluminum and iron and Hephaestonite. Let's... take that back then. Put that away. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Major McScruffy. I don't even remember what the Custodian is made from. I never use it. I do not like the Custodian. Let's see. That'll give us corundum, copper, and aphrite. Okay. This one is Hephaestonite, taurite, and iron. Okay. so much easier to... Oh, that's right, we have a piece of aphrite that we don't want to lose. I guess it's just a 500 quality piece. I guess that's one thing. You could, if you're looting some of the loot boxes that can have ores and mine-wells in them, you could get a few higher quality of those. Be using some of those. But this is where then it would be really nice if we had some ship refining, like small ship refiner or something. Maybe if they even had a tiny little refiner, like fabricator size, that you could find small bits of ore in. Because then you could go out and you'd be able to get some of those rarer materials that you don't get from recycling stuff. And then you could make a whole bunch of other things just from what you have on board the ship. So we have a FH86 we could try recycling as well. Hey, you're welcome, NY SearchNet. Glad they're helpful. Yeah, I have had to be. I've learned a couple of things to be careful of from doing this the last day or two. Yeah. There's been a couple of times I almost lost it, and it was because of like I tried just like an Alt F4 to fix the performance problems, but for whatever reason that doesn't seem to be, when you go to join back in, it doesn't seem to reliably be putting you back on the same server. So then like I did that, and then I woke up on like Checkmate or something, and I was like, oh crap. So then I had to find the server with the ship again. So yeah, there's been a few instances like that. Just got to be careful, but I haven't had any 30Ks or anything so far. I mean, maybe I've just jinxed myself, but only thing I'm really doing is staying out of Stanton as much as I can, because that seems to be the more busy system and more prone to having server errors and other issues like that. Let's see. Can't make an FS9. We need Lindinium. Gallant, you would need Dolivine, which you could find in a loot box. B4 would be something we could make. You could make a couple of those. I think if I had the CQ7 blueprint, I'd be able to craft some base levels of those with those basic materials. For whatever reason, the P8SC uses Ceruleum. I don't really know why, when it's just, I don't know, like it's just a little bit smaller than the P4. So I don't know why it doesn't just use aluminum as well, but it does. You need Janelite for a shotgun. Could probably make another. Yeah, you could make the Purgatory camo, S71. Those skins and that armor is really nice. That's what I have on right now. This is the medium version of the Purgatory camo crafted. I like it. Where do you get the crafting things, or whatever they're called? These fabricators? As far as I know, you can get them at any place that has a refinery. They're in the refinery shop. So any of them, the 3 big pyro stations, or Levski, or the gateways in Nyx, or a lot of the Lagrange point stations in Stanton that have refineries. You can get them from there. They're like, I think they're like 100K each or so. So they're, they cost a little bit, but they're not too bad. What about magazines though? That's the other thing we could see on. That needs Torite to make that. I mean, you kind of think it would be in the cargo area at first. They could, like, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea for them to put them there as well. But I think at least at the moment, they're only in refinery locations. Unless you have, if you did the Alliance Aid event at the beginning of the year, and you completed it all the way, there was like a skinned version of the fabricator that you got that's account bound. So if you had done that, you should have that at your home location. The other thing on the ammo, crafting the ammo, I think 3 Centa SCU of Hephaestonite and iron to make a single FS9 magazine is a bit much. Like, I feel like this amount of material should make like 5 of them or something. So I guess that's the one thing with making ammo on here is it's a little bit resource expensive. I mean, if you're just looting NPC guns, it's not that big a deal, but also you probably get some ammo from the NPCs as well. But it does give you an option at least to, if you haven't found ammo for a particular weapon that you're looking for, you can make it here. You have the right stuff. What about the quartz? That needs quartz as a material. I don't know if there's any weapons that use that. Maybe there's some components that use that. So let's... Okay. And maybe we'll go try and get a salvage thing. Maybe get some components from there and see what stuff that'll get us. Maybe the boarding mission for Recco, because that has a cutlass that can have some components on it.
Aegis combat assist activated. Systems green.
If we have that, and I don't see it right now. We need to go to a station.
Shields offline. Quantum travel initiated.
That's what you're doing right now. I was trying to get the Recco boarding mission, but it wasn't showing up for me when I was out in the middle of nowhere, so I'm just going to a station to see if maybe that refreshes it and then gets it to show. Because then we can see, we can do the mission, and then the cutlass that spawns right by it usually has a couple of components, so we could bring those over, and then if we dismantle those, see what it gives us. The components, it might have more of the materials that it will withhold, because usually For some of them, at least, it uses some of the higher rarity materials. But we'll see what we can get from it. Yeah, the rare materials aren't... Yeah, they don't give those back to you, so it does limit you a little bit. But there seems to be a pretty good variety of weapons that only use, like, iron and hephaestonite or, like, aluminum, and a couple of other ones that you can get. It's like the LMGs that need lindinium. I don't think you can get that recycled, or ceruleum. A few other things. But there's at least some guns that you'd be able to make with it.
Quantum travel complete.
Like I said, if I can get the CQ7 blueprint, then you could print those out as well. And the CQ7 seems, even you know, just stock, not having any improvements from crafting, seems to have seems to be performing pretty well so far. So there we go. Now we got mission. Now we get to quantum again, after we wait for the Idris to take 5 hours to cool down. I think that's one other thing I'd like them to look at. For some quantum drives, the cooldown and acceleration's a little bit weird. The Idris especially. It takes forever to accelerate and forever to decelerate. And then it has a really, really long cooldown. So they should probably tone it back a little bit, I think. I think it takes like over a minute for it to cool down after a long jump. Quite a bit. The other thing I've seen as kind of a money-making method this patch is if you can, because you can rent the Argo Moth now, the medium salvage ship, I think at Levski. And then you can go do these missions where you board the Caterpillar, you go clear out everything, do the mission, and then you can munch the Cutlass and the Caterpillar down into construction materials. And sometimes it seems like it doesn't spawn out the Cutlass if someone does the mission and then just leaves. So a lot of the time, you go to these places and there's like a bunch of other dead Cutlasses around that you can go munch as well. So some people have been doing that to make some money. I could technically like scrape some RMC from those ships as well with the Salvation. But I don't know if we'll do that right now. Might just do a couple more of these. I'm pretty close to 7. So probably a few more of these missions and we'll be to that next rep level. A little close to the rock. It's probably fine. Salvaging and looting those ships for components and guns has a good return. Can you sell the components and the guns for much money? 'Cause I thought they kind of nerfed that into the ground. At least when you could, you know, still like dupe components and weapons quite easily. But maybe they've adjusted that since they fixed that for the most part.
Contact. Shields online.
We'll just come up along the front here. Maybe we'll aim the front of the ship here, and then we can open the front hangar doors to bring the components in from the cuddy. Oh, a little close. Back up just a bit. That'll probably work.
Engines offline.
Just realized I need to go open the hangar door. I was just running to the airlock. Going off of muscle memory when I've done this before. Okay, we'll open the front. You know what else I don't have? I have max lift. Which I would like. Go grab that up here real quick. So we'll dump those off. That, okay, there we go. Not just selling them, most of it for deconstruction, and then materials could be used for new make or sales for money. Depends on the price of materials. Like, you mean like break down the components and then sell those raw materials for money? I guess if some of them probably sell for a decent bit.
Ah! I'm hit!
Hey, Prometheus. How's it going? Turn off the shield in case I do want to scrape a bit.
Let's do this. Moving up.
We'll have to see. Maybe next week, by the time Twitch drops are up and going, they might have. I think they were trying to put out a initial 4.10 build for Evocati, but I think it got soul crushed or something. So maybe by then it might be wave 1 when Twitch drops start, and then we can check that out. I've played through it a couple of times so far, but there's definitely some more testing to do for Siege. It's really cool so far, though. The super heavy armor's cool. Managed, we did it the other night in a group of like 20, like just a bunch of random people in Evo, and it let us do it, and it seemed to work pretty well. Glad to see the Idris in good use. I'm a Polaris pilot myself. Nice. I love the Polaris. I own that as well. It does need a bit of love, but they have made some nice updates to it fairly recently with like the basketball hoop and the pool table. So they've done a few things for it. You could technically, I mean, you could probably use the Polaris as well, pretty well, to live out of. It might actually, if we do get suit lockers, that could be, I think, because the Idris kind of has a few suit lockers, but the Polaris like actually has them, so that it might be more useful if we have that feature as well to work with in a couple of months. Or maybe I think they've said when they're going to bring suit lockers out, they have been kind of looking at some of the ships that need them, or if they need to make any adjustments. So maybe we'll see some other updates for ships, like maybe the Idris or other ships that have suit lockers, or just need them slightly adjusted to fit the proper metrics. Let's go drop these off.
Let's go ahead and call that last job done.
Your MFDs are not working at this point in time. Do you mean like you can't put all the power into them? Because I've had that issue on the Polaris and the Idris. The Idris is having that problem as well. I think it lets you put them up, like on the Idris, I can apply power until I have 5 pips left, but then I can't put any more in after that. So I don't know if it just doesn't realize it has another 5 pips to put into things or something else. And it was kind of like that on the Polaris as well, but kind of worse because the Polaris doesn't have as good of a power plant, unfortunately. How long have you been on the SC train? I started playing, it was, I think, April or May of 2023, I think. I don't remember what the patch was exactly. I think it might have been whatever was right after 3.18. I think it was 3.19, maybe. But I don't remember having all the problems or whatever that 3.18 had. So I think it was shortly after that. You can find components in the Cutlass. Yeah, I just dropped the FPS guns off. We're gonna go check this. There's some other FPS guns we can get in here as well. I think there might be like a P6. We can see what the snipers will give us, like if it gives us Hadanite or other stuff. Because I guess then at least you could make a base level version of some of the snipers. Okay, we got a couple components. Any cool armors? Not really. Let's see, what is this? Arrowhead? Meh. Take a BR2. There's a P6 right here. Oh. I don't think that'll fit in my bag. I do like that there's always a grenade launcher spawn here. EASC, that shouldn't, as far as I know, again, that should not give us Cevrilium back if we recycle that. Why can I not move faster in EVA? I hate when this happens. That'll sit there. We started around the same time. Oh, cool. I think there was a, when I've looked at like the new player, you know, acquisition charts on like the CCU game site, I think it was maybe around like 2022 and 2023, there's quite a big uptick in new player accounts. This was all the components. Let's go close up. Arrowhead has a Satyrix. Oh, okay. Let me close that and we'll go out the airlock. We'll check. We'll see if it gives us Satyrix back. I mean, Satyrix isn't... I mean, I guess maybe it's a rare material because you can only get it at the breaker stations. We'll see, though. Maybe it'll give us that back. Hey, Prometheus, thanks for the offer. Probably not today. But probably sometime we could do like a, you know, chilling with y'all, do something. Be cool to do. I store that. No, I cannot. Ah. Well, we're gonna risk it. Putting that in there. We'll take one of these. We'll go see if it give us any good stuff. Okay, we got those there. Hey, Arabic. Sent hydrated for 550 joules. Thank you. Definitely gotta remember to stay hydrated. At least where I'm at, it's pretty hot. So, thank you for that. And half the time I just forget. Anyways, just get into whatever I'm doing in SC. Here's to hoping today's Evo build actually goes out. I don't know. I don't know. Let me, let's just see, out of curiosity. I don't think... I think they had the red light today, unfortunately. So, kind of weird though, because like the previous tech previews that we had all went up, seemed to go fine, and they were pretty smooth. I mean, it could be because maybe they had... I guess the tech previews only technically had the Siege of Orson stuff, and they didn't have like the story missions for Recco and other things, so maybe that's what caused it to not happen today. But hopefully tomorrow. West Coast Canada, we just had a heat wave, and now it's supposed to rain over the weekend. Yep. The weather really likes to flip-flop quite quickly in a lot of places. Yeah. Red lit, but it's whatever. As long as it's not like 4.8, when we just had red light after red light. That was not good. You can just toss those over the edge there. I really need to fix that. What would you call this? Like a viz area issue with the address, I think maybe is what you'd call it. It used to be fine, so I don't know what broke. Let's see if we can... Will this fit? That'll fit. Can we fit all of them on at once? Probably. No, maybe not. Oh no, right there. Okay. Let's see what it'll give us. So that'll give us some Torite, Agricium, Pressurized Ice, Terranite, Bore's Laranite. I think the Terranite and the Laranite are used, I think, on some of the snipers, so you can get those. And there we get Tungsten, Bexolite, and Agricium. Okay. Will this all fit on the grid, though? It might not. Maybe I need to do it one at a time. Puts out too much material. Let's do the cooler first. Confident they'll push a weekend build tomorrow? Yeah, they probably will. It sounded like they were maybe going to try another one earlier today. Like, it was maybe early enough in the day they could try something else, but I think they just said, man, whatever, we'll just do it tomorrow. But yeah, a weekend one would be nice to get. Where'd the material go? Did not do it. Did I not click the right thing again? Here? Oh, can I not send it to the... Is it too much? Okay. Maybe there's too much material for it to put on the 2SCU grid here? That's unfortunate. And will it let me do... Let's see if it'll let me do one of the size 1s. So you might be limited a little bit there, just by how much space this has to output materials. So let's try this. Jojo, how many are there any news about Idris modules, like complete set of repair rearm services for ships docked and landed in? So you can't do that right now. They added that as a feature to a lot of ships that have like a hangar in 4.8. So like the Idris, the Polaris, the Carrack, I think the 890 Jump, the Starlancer TAC, and the Ironclad Assault. So you just have to have the right materials on the grid of the ship. So I have some stuff here on the Idris. Like up in this cargo deck, I have like some ship ammo, flares and noise, and some hydrogen and quantum fuel. And then down in the main hangar, on the little cargo bays on the sides, there's some other ammo, recycled, or RMC for repairing ships and stuff like that. So, and I think it had a few issues during 4.8, but it seems like when I've had friends use it so far, it seems to be working pretty well in this patch. Seems to restock okay and all that. Only thing I'd say is, I think is a little off right now is the consumption rate for the RMC. It feels a little high. Like I think I had a friend with like a basically dead meteor, like very, very red meteor the other day that came in and repaired, and it ate like 20 SCU of RMC or something. So it's a little expensive at the moment. I think if they maybe halved that consumption, it would feel a little bit better. Oh, I need to put this other component in there. Put that in. I have the fabricators here on the Idris boot chair. We're seeing what we can do in terms of living out of the ship and how much you can do to remain self-sufficient. So seems like there's a decent bit you can do. We're just kind of testing some stuff, trying some stuff out. Just need to put manually into Idris cargo or in the landing area. I think so for like repairing, as long as it has to be, the materials have to be on the cargo grid somewhere for the ship to recognize them and use them in repairing or restocking whatever the ship is. That gave us a Grickium. Come on. Oh, I'm at 10% hydration. We'll lay on the med bed for a second. Actually, hold on. Let's we'll move away from the caterpillar here.
Engines online.
Come on. This is what I get annoyed by when the quantum route doesn't stay put.
Shields offline.
Apparently it's just letting me go through this big rock.
Quantum travel initiated. Quantum travel complete. Shields online. Engines offline.
Okay, now we'll go get rid of the blurry vision. Then we'll see if we break down some of those snipers, if they give us everything. Those Satyrix and the Hadanite. I mean, it should give us the Hadanite. I mean, Hadanite's not that rare. But we'll see on the Satyrix. Okay, I understand. Once I visited Idris at TSG mission, and I saw so many pallets with rockets and torpedoes. Yeah, so that is another little bit of a new, not necessarily functionality, because I think that was tied to the just general rearm repair feature. But they do have like a little visual kind of metal structure that goes around missiles and stuff when you put them. It just makes them look a little bit nicer on the grid instead of just floating there. Actually, I went and bought a variety of different missiles and stuff at Babbage. And I put some on, but then I needed to alt F4 because the FPS went all bad, and then it like wigged out again, and it like just deleted half of them that were up on the freight elevator. So I should have sent the freight elevator back down before I alt F4'd. But that's something else you could, like if I go salvage a ship and it has missiles you can get on the outside, you could take those, have them on board, so then if someone has those correct missiles, they could restock those as well. As far as I know, that works. I think I tried that a couple of times, and it does seem to, if you have the right missiles on board, it does seem to restock them properly. Okay, where was P6? Okay, let's see what these will give us. Terranite, copper, and aphrite. And Terranite, Hephaestonite, iron. Ooh. So I don't think it's giving us back the arrowhead. Let's just double check. Arrowhead uses Satyrix. It's not giving us Satyrix. And the P6 uses Hadonite. And it does not appear to give us Hadonite back. That's... That's lame. I mean, you could find Hadonite in a box somewhere, I guess, but... Well, we'll dismantle those. Oh. The Aphrite is doing weird things. Okay. Well, at least with some of that stuff that's broken down, you could make, I think a couple of them gave me some Torite, so then with that you could make like the BR2 Purgatory skin if you want something like that. There's a couple of options. And again, if you're looting somewhere, like if I just find some Hadonite, you could make a couple more of these. I wonder if you get gold back from anything. Gold would seem like a bit more of a rare material. The other thing I've done is some of these CQ7s that I've found, I've been putting them... I think it's just cool to kind of have some stuff in like your weapon racks, you know, on the ship. I tried go over here to the shooting range. I tried to put a gun on like the little thing right here to make it look like, oh, you can just pick it up and start blasting at whatever targets might be there eventually, but it does not like just sitting there. It likes to wiggle around quite a bit. But just throw them in the weapon rack. And then if someone needs a CQ7, they can come grab one. I think I have a couple of the kind of olive green ones, a couple of the black ones, and now the white ones. I would like them to add storage to these little drawers, though, so you could keep ammo here as well. That'd be nice. Some of that's probably improved on the new Idris, I would guess. And, like, over here in this room, I think this is meant to be, like, the Marines' room for the ship, where they have, like, their armor. But this is, I guess, technically suit lockers, but I don't know if they're even big enough to fit things properly, so they might have to be altered and redone a bit. I don't think they're at least not the same size as the ones in the Polaris or some of the other new ships that have suit lockers. Let's see. S71. The magazine needs festonite and tungsten. Aluminum, festonite, and iron. Maybe we could make a... I'll just make a couple of these to go put on the weapon rack. I should probably actually organize these boxes by what they are, because they all look pretty similar. Festonite. Iron. We need some aluminum somewhere. Aluminum. Okay, so let's see. Close that up. And then does it let us make that? Not enough material. Oh, apparently these boxes only have 1 cent to SCU, 1.5 cent to SCU. Ah. Even though they're in a full 1/8 SCU box, I guess, so we would need some more. Okay. More aluminum. Oh. I think the aluminum is in this kind of greenish box. Okay, well, let's see if this is enough now. To at least make 1, probably. Oh, there we go. Now it shows a couple of things. We have enough? Well, we do. So take that, and boom, you can make a Purgatory camo S71. So, you know, it takes a little bit of collecting some materials. I think, I don't think dismantling gives back, of the materials it gives back, I don't think it gives you 100% of them. It must give you like 50% or something. But it does give you a way to make some stuff out here if you need it. But at least for like ammo, it seems like I've collected quite a bit just from looting like breaker stations and stuff. So for ammo, at least, it still seems better to just loot it from somewhere. It's just too expensive, I think. They need to make that a little bit cheaper. I did find some cool, these gilded helmet and legs at a breaker station. Pretty nice. I think I've supposedly heard that's a pretty rare set. Okay, so now it gave us the gun, and then it pooped out all the rest of the materials it hasn't used. But now I have a Purgatory camo. S71. Go throw that on the weapon rack. Hey SearchNet, thanks for stopping by and hanging out. We'll see you next time. Oh yeah, the other thing the Idris needs is big weapon racks. It only has normal weapon ones and I guess pistols, but there's no railgun ones or like the big ones that can hold the larger weapons. So then how much material is left? What can we do with what we have? Ah, nothing. Great. We have all these boxes. Maybe throw some Torite on. I think we could make one of the shotguns. Do I have any more aluminum? I think the aluminum takes up most of the frame on some of these guns. It's like the majority of the material. Just a little more. Okay. So, what? Oh, not clothing. Oh, we could make a backpack. We could make the Chiron backpack. Make a couple of magazines. And a C-54. What about... we have enough for the BR2? I don't think we have enough Torite. Is this Torite? No. One of these. So, we need a couple of more things from that. Okay. Well, that's a decent little test of what you can do. So, just gotta get more NPC guns, I guess, if I wanted to make some more stuff with it. Okay, I think we'll go do maybe one more of these boarding missions, and then we'll probably call it for today. Let's go see if we can get anything else good from this one. But
Ugh, it needed
like I
someone
said,
to clear that one
with
out.
the Twitch drops happening, I think next week that starts. I'm gonna try and be on a bit more for when that's going on. Might have to go around the star a little bit first. 95 gigameters. Ugh. Kind of hard to tell in quantum because the star is all bent, weird, and distorted. Okay, that's probably good. Okay, now we see how quickly the Idris can get us 91 gigameters. Once it gets up to speed, it'll go pretty quick, but then it has to decelerate again and slow down. As we're winding down, if anyone has any other ideas for things to try for what we could do from staying on the Idris, like other materials to bring on, or like what anything else you can think of that we could try for how much we can be self-sufficient, feel free to let me know. Now we're flying, but then at about, I think it's like 20 gigameters out, it'll start to slow down. Takes forever to slow down. That's the other thing with the Idris, because it accelerates and decelerates for so long, if it's only like 2 or 3 gigameter jumps you're doing, it takes like way longer than it does in other smaller ships because it never really gets up to high speed. There's the sound. Yep, it's about 25 gigameters. It's starting to slow down already. We're getting there though. Okay, finally.
Contact. Shields online.
This time, let me actually bring the front of the... Well, maybe no. Maybe we put the back of the ship by the... Nah, but then the ramp will be all weird. We'll just put the front of the ship in front of the little ramp here. We can move those components over from the Cutlass.
Engines offline.
Okay, that should be good. Can I have a pure Karenite? Well, I don't have any pure Karenite to give you. And even if I did, I would be selling it to someone or using it for a Wicklow ship or something. I've heard that the spawns for pure Karenite have been kind of weird recently, and it hasn't been spawning much. I mean, it's already kind of rare, but I don't know if it's from... They changed, because they changed, I think with 4.8, they changed it so like Dolomite and Hadnite and some of those other minerals can spawn in the cave, so that might just lower the spawn chance of it, since there's other stuff that can also spawn.
We got trouble. Pushing.
Need a single piece to get the Wicklow Polaris.
Okay.
I don't know how much they're exactly selling for, but I mean, they're probably, like on UEX or something, they're probably pretty pricey though. Ever owned a cap shipping game? Well, it's cool. It'll be cool, you know, if it's just that one last piece. It'll be cool to get the Polaris though. It could be good as a base, or if you have friends, you know, to go do stuff with it in. So it's a good ship. It could use a little bit of love from CIG. 20 mil for a single piece. My goodness. Just finished grinding in 4.8 cargo for the Polaris bits. Cost you 225 million. That is a lot. The gray market, or not the gray market, but the unofficial, you know, player markets, I guess, they do, the prices do tend to get out of hand a little bit sometimes. Like, I've seen people trying to sell like a 900 quality plus CQ7 for like 5 million a gun, which is, I mean, it's I guess it's not the worst, but that's quite a bit.
Wanted to let you know that everything checked out. Consider the contract complete.
Okay, we'll dump those there. Go see what the Cutlass has. cover all. Okay. But it doesn't seem like we're able to dismantle the size 2s and get it to output the materials on the 2SE grid. I think it's too much material. Just the size 1s, possibly. We can do that for him. Oh. Ow. Oh. Oh, well, there that goes. We go chase it. Is it slowing down? Maybe we can catch it. Eh. Whatever. Off into the void. Ooh, maybe something else. Like, maybe I could bring the Panthers. Some of the size 3 weapons that are on this, maybe those can be broken down. Maybe they're small enough. Let me take the P4s to break those down at least. A couple P6s. We'll go with that for now. Oh no, wrong button. Okay, I'm just gonna move out to open. Oh wait, no, I wanted to. Forgot. I wanted to go grab a Panther. Let me grab that, and then we'll move to open space, and then check that quick. How could I not take these? Maybe I need to get in the pilot seat. Unlock ports. Or I can't get in the pilot seat. Okay. Maybe that won't be happening. Never mind. Guess we cannot take the guns off the Cutlass. Can we take them off? Caterpillar? Let's see, that is size what? Size 5s and 4s? Those are probably too big to fit in the thing anyways. You can take off the guns, Daedalus? Is it just because it's like the shield on or something? That's what's blocking it. Hold on. Let's check the engineering panel. No, shield's not on. You can fly the Cutlass? Doesn't seem to give me a enter prompt on it that I can see. Maybe this one's just borked or something. I'm pretty sure these size 4s are too big. But those are locked on also. And you can't really get in the command module on this. It's kind of weird. 'Cause I think that's where like the friendly NPCs are hiding. They've got a bad one. They shadow patched it today? Yeah, maybe. Maybe this is I think this might be a different server than I was on earlier. Maybe this is one of the hotfix servers. Come on, let me out. Okay. Well, we'll move away from that. There's a couple of other dead cutlasses around, so that's still happening. Which is kind of nice if you're doing the go out in the Moth, do the boarding mission, and then munch up all the ships. Bunch of their cutlasses to get some stuff off of. Okay.
Shields online. Engines offline.
All right, everyone. I think that's where we're going to call it for today. So we figured out a couple of things, tested out the weapon dismantling a little bit, getting some of that stuff figured out. We'll see what else we can do with it. We'll probably try this again in another stream. I don't know if I'll be live again the rest of this week, but probably starting next week before Twitch drops, probably be on some more then, and then as much as I can probably during Twitch drops, and hopefully we'll have some fun then. But thank you all for hanging out today. And if you haven't already, you can subscribe on YouTube and you can follow on Twitch so you're notified whenever I go live and when new videos go up. Of course, hopefully we'll get maybe some more news stuff. Maybe there'll be a nice sneak peek tomorrow or something next week. I think, well, next week we'll get a roadmap. Maybe we'll get some of the 411 roadmap or something. But we'll see. So that's going to do it though for this one. Thank you all for hanging out, and I will see you next time.